Welcome to Justin Tim Auction Service online llama auction tutorial. How to achieve success selling online. First things first, make sure that you have a good quality photo. Starting with a great background. You really want to have something that's solid and consistent. This photo here represents a pretty good example of a good background. Ideally, we wouldn't have those trees in the background above the animal's top line, but it's not too distracting. We also want to be consistent. We want to have where you take your photos in the same location on a regular basis. There's a couple different reasons for this. One, it's cross-marketing. If somebody sees an animal that they really like of yours, and then later down the line they see an animal and it has the same background as a previous photo that they were attracted to, chances are they're going to take that next step and maybe look a little bit closer at your animal. So if you find a good location on your farm where you can consistently take photos, that's a great way for cross-marketing for down the road. Lighting is very important. The misconception is often that you want to only take your photos on a bright sunny day. Bright sunny days actually create a lot of shadows and can bleach out an animal's color in a photograph. Ideally, a nice cloudy day is the best day to take a photograph. Angles is another big one. Now this is one that a lot of people have a lot of different opinions on. However, our suggestion is we like to be level with the animal's mid-shoulder. So what I'm talking about is the halfway point between the animal's top line and the animal's belly up at the front corner of the animal is where I like to be able to take my photographs at an even level. This way the animal's represented as truthful as possible. It doesn't make the animal look too large by being so low on the animal. The angle is being taken upward and it misrepresents the size of that animal and is not a true image of what that animal appears like when you look at it out in the field. We also don't want to take it from standing up too tall because that'll create an angle downward on the animal and make the animal look smaller or shorter than what it really is. So a good rule of thumb is right at that mid-shoulder area to take your photographs from. Oftentimes it's just kneeling down a little bit, squatting a little, you'll be able to achieve that angle. So this is a great example of a great angle to take a photograph of an animal. We also want to talk about taking variety of shots. Make sure you get different angles. You're getting left side, right side, a head shot, fleece shots. These are just some more examples where you're creating a nice solid background where there's not a lot of activity happening behind there. It's relatively solid, lets people's eyes concentrate on what you want them to be concentrating on, which is your animal. Provide as much info as possible. So again, talking about those photographs, making sure that you're providing a left side, right side, a front view of the animal's legs, a rear view of the animal's legs, a head shot, fleece shot, and don't stop at just one. The more quality photographs you have of an animal from multiple different angles helps paint a better picture for a potential buyer. And since they're doing this for the most part all online, the more photos you have, the more comfortable they're going to feel bidding and bidding more often on your animal. Make sure that you provide a copy of the ILR so that people have the ability to go and do some of their due diligence research on the genetics of an animal. So make sure that you have that ILR provided so that potential buyers can do that. Providing photographs of both parents and siblings when appropriate is a great way to help educate potential buyers on what the potential of this animal may be. So if you can provide a nice photograph of the sire and the dam and any real notable siblings. It doesn't necessarily have to be a full-blown champion, big-time award winner, But the more positive traits that you can bring forward by presenting a sibling help see the consistency and the potential that this potential animal that they have of buying is going to produce. So providing those photos are very helpful and help, again, paint the picture for the potential buyer. If you're able to provide a video, that's always fantastic, whether it's the animal walking to and away from the videographer, walking profile, either on a lead or in the pasture. These are all things that help a potential buyer envision what this animal is really like. And the better image they have of this animal, the more likely they are to be the winning bidder. So make sure you can provide those videos when at all possible. And make sure once you have all that stuff put together that you give an informative write-up. How we feel the best way to structure a write-up is introduce the animal's positive traits at the start of your write-up. Paint that picture for that potential buyer on what that animal is really like. Then introduce the sire, followed by the dam, and talk about the traits that those parents bring to the table. What is it that make this animal so great that we're looking at the next generation? And why they're valuable. It's not just that the sire has a nice fluffy fleece, or a Surrey fleece, or a silky fleece, or whatever fiber type you might like. Talk about the traits of the animals and why they're important. Again, this is where we go back and discuss any of the siblings that this animal may have. Whether they're award-winning, whether there's a consistent color pattern or size or temperament, something that helps create consistency for this potential buyer to be looking at this animal for. And then last but not least, you're doing a recap. Just a couple of sentences of why somebody should be purchasing this animal. Now that you've got all that information put together, you need to promote your animal. My rule of thumb is I like to have 3 bidders lined up for any particular animal that I'm selling. So that doesn't mean I reach out to 3 people. I'm reaching out to 10, 15, 20, 25 people, and I keep reaching out to people until I know that I've got 3 potential bidders on the line that I'm pretty certain are at least going to bid on my animal. Now, I don't know what they're going to bid, but activity generates activity. So if you can get at least 3 potential bidders or buyers interested in your animal, that's a great start to having success in an online auction. Next is social media. Social media is really taking over marketing in a lot of ways. This is a great free resource to be able to get information out there. So starting with Facebook, the most popular one, it's very important that when you post your photos and post your information about your sale animal, that you provide web links. Make sure that that post has either a link to the auction website or to your personal website that then will link them to the auction website. And not only in the body of the post is this important, any photographs that you are posting need to have this link on that photo as well. The great thing about social media and Facebook is people can share these things. However, if they share the post and there's no link to where that website is, it's not going to do you much good bringing in new potential buyers. So as long as there's a link on the body of the post and then on any of the photographs that you're sharing, you're going to help drive people to your animal that you're trying to sell. So make sure you get those links in there. I cannot stress that. I cannot stress that enough. Next is your website. Make sure that you are putting a link to this sale on either your sales page on your website or your home page, and ideally both. You never know who's visiting your website, and this is a great way to drive potential buyers to animals you have available for sale. Then there's Craigslist. Not everybody is a fan of Craigslist. Craigslist is a very popular tool that is used here in the Northwest for selling animals. We've achieved a lot of success with this. What this is a big part of is getting the word out to new and potential llama owners. There's people who are out there searching for animals and they just don't know where to go to get them. So posting on Craigslist is a great way to get exposure. Maybe these people don't buy your animal in this particular auction, but this is one step closer for them to become a llama owner. So Craigslist is a great resource, and we highly recommend getting your posts on Craigslist to help drive new potential llama owners to the site. And one more thing on Facebook, going back up to the top there, make sure that you yourself share these posts as well. Share the posts on whatever marketing groups you may be a part of. Like here in the Northwest, we have Northwest Livestock Sales, we have Oregon Livestock Sales, we've got a page called Oregon Homesteaders, which is farmers and landowners in the area. These are all pages that you can potentially reach new buyers, and that's a very important thing to keep in mind when we're marketing our animals, is we want to reach out not only to existing llama owners, but to also new potential owners. We all started there. We were all new owners at one point, and lots of times it's just people getting the exposure and the opportunity to take that next step. So make sure that you do that as well. That's the end of our tutorial here for selling animals online. We wish you happy selling. If you have any questions or comments, always we welcome those. Please visit our website at justintimauctionservice.com. We can also be reached by phone and by email. Have a great day.